Hello, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. How we doing this morning? Good morning, Chet. Good morning. I got Christian on here. Fran, hello, good morning. Danny, good morning. Bethany, hi. Hi, buddy. Hi, good morning. Good morning. You guys might see my son this morning too. I'm coming at you from the house this morning. I finally figured out how to do like a background. I don't know, trying to figure all these things out. Not the best with the technology, but it's a rainy day here in the ATL. Oh, am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Can y'all hear me? Okay, perfect. It said muted for a minute. So, anyway, it is raining here this morning and it's kind of gloomy out. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still just really exhausted from my Further Together event. Um, Put a five in the chat if you guys were there. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I unfortunately didn't get to spend a ton of time with all of my attendees, which was really hard because I really wanted to see everybody, pour into everybody. But yes, if you were there, put a five in the chat. Yes, chat was there. Tanya, it's okay, my friend. We are all very busy. Let's see. Oh, Jeremy, you went to the one in Seattle. How was that? Unmute for me and tell me how it was.
It was awesome. Speakers were great. The
Good.
topics were relevant, and I came away with a lot of implementable ideas.
That's awesome. That's really the whole idea about it. I feel like when I headed up the one in September, here in Atlanta, it was more so about motivation, but we also gave you those tips and tricks. But I really wanted this one to be implementable tools. And I was so thankful Brock was there. He was able to pour into everyone as well. So I think it went off really, really, really well. We had over 200 people in that room, and it was just, it's crazy. It flew by. I was like, how are we at the end already? The one in September felt like it was longer, but it wasn't. It just flew by. So, Sarah attended one in Central California last week. Sarah, unmute for me and tell me about that one. I'd love to hear that.
Good morning.
Good
Um,
morning, Sarah.
three real agents put it together for us. It was at a local gym, a motivational speaker, and then they had a panel for, it was a little smaller scale than yours, I think, but it was very impactful. And then they took three agents that had been in the business for 20 years and did a panel, and then one for agents that were killing it that had been in for like a year. And I loved that it was all different brokerages, and it was a
Yes.
wonderful event.
That's awesome. I love to hear other people's experiences. I've attended a few other Further Togethers. I went to the one in South Carolina last week and it was great, had great speakers. And I will tell y'all guys, if you guys can go to these events, they truly, truly are life changing. I know Brock says it too. Live events change lives and they truly, truly do each and every time because especially when you have good dynamic speakers, especially in the panels, like you're relating to these agents that are in your market, in your industries that are typically killing it. And I love the fact that we do try to incorporate agents from all different facets, whether it's, traditional resale or it's new construction or it's luxury or it's investments. So I think it's great to have that broad range. And I'm so glad to hear all throughout the country that they're all going off so, so well. So that's amazing. I love to hear it. That's really why I do all of the crazy things because it just feels good to bring people together, to be able to share the knowledge with everyone. And so, very, very thankful to have led that room on Tuesday. And I'm still recovering yesterday. I was like, oh, I'll clear my schedule. No, no, we still keep working. But I really want to talk to you guys about kind of how we got there, how we managed to put on this event, still work. Guys, there's a lot. This is mindset motivational. So I want to be cognizant of that. And I wanted to talk about kind of how I was able to get through a lot of the anxiety and a lot of the stress of it because it is, it's very stressful. And you're always worried that, there's a lot of pressure. I've got to keep sponsors happy. I got to keep speakers in line. I've got to manage the time. There's a lot of moving parts that a lot of people don't realize. And I went through a lot of stress. Brock heard a lot about it. Brock got to be my listening ear when I had to virtually cry on his shoulder a little bit, but he was great. Always very supportive, and it's just nice. But the worst fear is that you do all this work and no one shows up. So when I saw that room and it was full, it's an amazing, amazing feeling. But the anxiety is real. And of course, I don't want to share that publicly that I feel like a basket case, but really in the moment, I am. I am. So it was a great event. I even had one of my life coaches too there. She talked a lot about mindset as well, because it's so important on how we manage these emotions to get through the day. And we have a million emotions that hit us all throughout the day, and how we manage them to be able to get through the day, right? So let's see. Oh, Bethany, I love you, girl. It's all you're gonna hear me. Always gonna be real. Try to always be real, no matter what. But I wanted to ask today: do you guys have anything that you guys might be struggling with anxiety right now, either personally or professionally? I'd love to hear that. See if we can talk through that a little bit. I'll pick on y'all, so I won't be afraid. There's some new faces on here. Should we pick on new
Good
people?
morning.
Oh, okay. We got somebody. Heather, thank you for
Hi.
sharing.
So, I feel like a broken record when I say this in multiple Zooms, but as a new agent, it's hard not to feel inadequate, inferior. It's hard not to feel like, you have no idea what you're talking about. And, you know, you do the work every day, and then you're almost afraid sometimes, like, oh crap, what if I do get a bunch of clients? Then
You
what?
deal with it.
Then
Yeah,
what?
you just deal with
I
it.
feel very blessed and very lucky to be on this team, to be on Brock's team, to be surrounded by the people that I am. Because if that happens, I know that, I can make some phone calls and be like, okay, what do I do next? But it is every day. It is, I mean, I sit there, I get up, first thing I do is gratitude and prayer every day. And, you know, for me, it is so refreshing to come on here, though, to hear people that have been in the business for maybe 10, 15, 20 years saying the same thing, saying, hey, look, we all have the same things going on in our heads. So just take a breath, take a
Yep.
step back, and just do the next step, right? Just do the next thing. So I just want to thank everybody for being on here, and I love it. I love to hear from other people. It makes me feel at 50 years old, starting over in a brand new career. It makes me feel not so alone.
Well, that's what this is all about too, is creating these communities, even if they're online, guys. Nobody has it all figured out. And if they're telling you that they do, they're lying. Nobody has this all figured out. And each transaction, each client is so very different. I mean, there's more that I probably learned last year, and last year I hit 10 years. This year I'll be at 11 in June. And guys, there's still so much. That's what I love about the industry though. It's never just a plug and play. It's always challenging. There's always different challenges that we can learn from. Yesterday morning, I was dealing with, after, getting 2 hours of sleep, I dealt with a title issue that's on a deal that was supposed to be closing next week. And now, it's just constant. You just have to tell yourself you're going to get through it no matter what. And if you're telling yourself that you're doing the very best that you can do each and every single day, that's all you can do. There's a lot of times we don't have control. Just like I wanted to get really upset yesterday morning, like, God, I'm supposed to be closing this and we have a title issue now. We get through it. And we did. And what did I do in that moment? Instead of just emailing back and forth, I picked up the phone and I called the title attorney. And his name's Justin. I said, Justin, I need you to explain to me exactly what the issue is so I can understand it and be able to inform my client on what their options are. Because of course you can read an email all day long, but again, it's that personal connection to where I can ask additional questions. So when I called him, I said, hey, can we find out the current owner's title policy? He said, I tried to do that already, but it went, their title company went out of business. So then we had to try to track down the current owner's title policy. Give me 1 second to invite my boy. Love you. Have a great day. Go say hi. Look, say hi. Say hi. I'm gonna drag him in. Oh,
That's the best part right there, by the way.
say hi.
Say, there you go.
Bye, buddy. I love you. Have a great day. Make good choices, work hard, be kind, and do something nice for somebody today. I love you. Sorry. So yes. So got on the phone, tried to backtrack, tried to get the current owner's original title policy so we can then see there was an issue about a retaining wall and whose property it actually was on. So anyway, after talking with him, I brought in the listing agent. We found out more information, how long the retaining wall had been there, any sort of repairs. Long story short, we were able to work through the problem, not have to get a survey, and my clients were able to get the full title protection. So just so you know, you're never alone in this. Nobody ever knows everything. There's always going to be issues that come up, and you just kind of have to, for me, I like to talk through them and see what the issues can be. Because at first, the title company was not wanting to give my clients the full protection policy. And by picking up the phone and having the conversation and talking through it with the other side, we were able to figure it out and it was fine. There was no survey needed after all. And that would have put us 2 or 3 weeks from closing. So don't ever feel inferior. There's always challenges. Nobody has it all figured out. And my best advice for you to be as being a new agent is still just put in the work and, share what you're doing. I tell you guys this all the time. No matter the size of audience that you guys have, share what you're doing on a daily basis, because that's proving that you're going to be the industry expert, right? And so they don't have to know you don't have a million clients, but if you're out there and you're pouring information into your audience, you're proving it. You're proving it. You're giving them that valuable knowledge, and the repetitiveness of them seeing your name and correlating it to real estate, it will work time and time again. So keep it up. Keep it up. Nobody has it all figured out. Thank you for sharing with us, Heather. All right. So, Dawn, can I say something? Please, Dawn. Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, can hear you.
It's so funny because what you just said, I just made it actually a picture of that. It was, and I just heard it on a podcast. It was event the E plus R equals O. Have you ever heard of that? So
Nope.
It was the event plus your response equals the outcome. So what you just did was, it and it gives choices, like you could go either way, like most agents do. Oh my God, and the world's going to end and da da da. But my slogan is always be, let's get on the solution side. And that's what you did. So
100%.
That's amazing. But I love that. Just funny that you picked that today.
Yeah.
But for the agent that was just on, I just wanted to say, because if I could go back in time, she's like at a perfect age at 50, because she has the time now. She still has the energy, but she also has the market, because she's everybody's mother type, but she's not too old to help the older people. So she has like a great 15 years of just being that go-to person. But if I were an agent, I'm a broker, and what I've done for my agents, because I can hear and understand her just unsure in themselves, right? Because it's scared. And I like that she says that. I'm scared. I'm scared if I don't get business, and I'm scared if I do get business. I would align myself with a good broker, like someone like myself, that has someone that's been in the business and has so many clients, but they can't service them all to the potential that they could. And that gets her, even if it's a percentage, a small percentage, like don't be greedy on that. The lesson she'll learn from that agent from all those years of a seasoned agent is like a free education. But then especially if it's an older agent that might be getting out, like retirement age, it opens up. And this is how several of my agents, one of my agents for 4 years now is taking over my other agent's book of 25 years, who, as you know,
Amazing.
most agents would just walk away from it. So those are just two things. If I could save her, 5 years, maybe that would help.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's what this is all about. We're collaborating on this Zoom today. And Dawn, thank you so much for sharing that with Heather. And Heather, take that to heart, right? And you do have so much to be able to share, and you do have so much time still left to pour into people. And it can be such a beautiful thing. So just keep putting in the work, being consistent. Clarity and consistency equals conversion, y'all. So each and every time. So definitely keep pushing through that. Um, Anybody else want to share maybe something that they might be struggling with a little bit today, anxiety wise, how we're
Yeah, I'll
feeling?
sh- I'll share something, little
Christian, please.
insight for Heather as well. I was listening. I like Andy Frisella. I don't know if anybody's familiar with him, but he's a little rough around the edges. And I was just happened to listen to one of his things yesterday where he was talking about, when someone says something to you, he's talking about people insulting you, right? But it's like the same thing can apply to when we feel inadequate. It's like we might be feeling those inadequacies because we feel like we are inadequate in some areas. And that's a good trigger to go say, hey, let me go work on that specific thing I'm feeling inadequate. Now, that doesn't mean we spend our entire day and we don't do business because of it, but maybe
Right.
that's an area where you're like, I don't know the market as well as I should. Okay, maybe I should set up a 15-minute every morning, where I go through the MLS and I read the stats and I look. But also with regards to, so that was point one, but with regards to the, what if I get too many clients? It's so funny you bring that up because yesterday I had a massive opportunity come my way with my new business. And I texted Brock and he said, you basically, this is a good problem to have. You asked for good problems. And so, you know, too many clients would be a very good problem to have. And um, so feel excitement at that possibility as well, right? Like
Absolutely. I
that
can
makes
see
you
that
rise to
smile
the
on your
challenge.
It does. I can see that smile on your face, Christian. I can tell you're all lit up and
Oh yeah.
excited, and you've worked so hard on that. So I'm so very proud of you. I'm so excited to see your success. And let me tell you, I know how hard it is. Okay. So the fact that well, I wouldn't even, I can hardly figure out. I had to text my admin this morning. I was like, I made this Zoom background, but it was mirrored. So it was my logos up here were opposite. And I was like, how do I fix this by 8:15 this morning? But
Well, that's great.
thank you. I'm not techie, but the fact that you created a whole entire app blows me away. So amazing, amazing job on that, Christian. And I can't wait to
Thank
see
you.
you just continue to thrive. And I'd love to see, I mean, your whole demeanor is lit up, your face is lit up, your smile is lit up. And I love that. Absolutely love
Thank you.
that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So James, I wanted to point him out. He put in the chat. He couldn't come off mute, but would love your input on this. We were struggling financially and didn't sell a house in 2025. I work 40 hours per week. I have two houses on the market and I work part-time for a church as well. Without too much detail, the church has decided to decrease my responsibility and pay. While I need the income we can get, I'm feeling led to stop working at the church. I'll lose the income, but we will still go to church there. I'm so anxious to pull that trigger, but I'm building too many bridges, I believe. So, I would definitely say, James, number one, thank you so much for being so open and honest about that. I know that is not an easy thing to do. And I know so many agents struggled last year and this year financially. So, thank you, number one, for being so vulnerable to share that with us today. And then as far as your current job, I would tell you, if you feel, I feel like there's an absolute sense of loyalty to a church, of somewhere that pours into you so much, right? And you feel like you might not be able to step away from that. But at the end of the day, you need to remember your family comes first, and God would want you to put your family first as well. And so I don't think by stepping away from your church opportunity and working there is going to burn any sort of bridges at more than anything. I think if you positioned yourself the right way and told them like, hey, I appreciate y'all so much. You've poured so much into me, my family, and I still want to be here to support, but I've got to financially take a step back so I can pour into what I really want to work on. And if that's real estate, tell them that and say, hey, that I've got to do what's best for my family. And at this time, this is what's best. I mean, those are hard conversations to have, but I feel that you can absolutely still keep a great relationship. And I promise you, they're going to respect you that much more, because especially if they know, and it's being vulnerable enough to tell them and share that with them. But I can assure you, they will absolutely respect you for being honest. And if I can tell if it's somewhere that you've poured into for so many years, they're not going to give you trouble. And if they do, you might really want to rethink your position at that church. Because at the end of the day, you are serving God, you're serving your family, you're serving yourself. And that's their main goal, is what they would want to see you succeed as well. So again, thank you so much for sharing that. I know how hard that is. I would tell you that on your houses that you have on the market, what market are you in? Does anybody know that can type in there really quickly? You're in Nashville. Okay. So James,
Nashville.
okay. So Nashville, maybe we can hook him up with Jim, or maybe another agent out there in Nashville to see, maybe you guys can do just a big reevaluation and analysis on those listings. And good morning, Joe. And so maybe we can kind of hook him up to see if they can do maybe a reanalysis on those listings and see if we can't get those moving. I'm not really sure how that market looks right now, but I try to definitely look at my listings, really deep dive analysis every 2 weeks. And I use a system, it's called Dub, and I actually send it to my clients. So I pull the data, I pull everything that I want to show them so I can prove to them that it's not me, because the first person they want to blame is me. And that's okay. I know that. They're not getting showings, they're not getting offers. Well, let me show you why. And I can prove every single point by showing them the data. And I use a system called Dub, D-U-B-B. I will send that here, Dub. Oh, well, it's D-U-B-B. This is a tool. I don't even know what you would call it. A tool, app, maybe as an app. I don't know. I think it's on my desktop. Not really sure. Just click the button and it does it. But it records my screen. So I walk them through all of the analysis points that I will do a search on and show them. And I can break it down in your MLS. It will actually break down for you what the average amount of showings per property in that price point in that area is. So when I had a crazy divorce situation, this is what I did. And I proved, because I had one side saying, well, why are we not getting anything under contract? My neighbor is, or whatever is. I can prove to them by going into the area, the price point, and show for them for the last 30 days, the average amount of showings is what? It was 0.38, not even one showing per month. So I'm showing them the data to prove exactly what I'm saying. So I would definitely love to help you with that. I don't know your MLS, but I can kind of walk you through what I would do if you feel like your clients are feeling a little left in the dark and you want to give them a good update. But I would, yes, Tanya, I think you shared with me one time that you did use Loom. So awesome. D, that is not in my MLS. I utilize my MLS to do the data search, but Dub is, I think it's a website or app or something. Christian, what do I call it? I don't know. Well, I think it's an app. I don't know. Something that you can download. I do pay for it. It's very nominal, but it's easy for me to use, which when it comes to tech, I just need to be able to click a button and it be done. So it is really cool. You can add captions to it. You can add your logo to it. You can personalize it. But that way they're seeing me pull every data point. So they see I'm not manipulating data. I mean, I used to be a data analyst, so I can manipulate some numbers, but I want them to see that raw data, that this truly is coming exactly from the MLS and where we're at. And yes,
AD for those that are in Carolina and those that are in Florida, if you're part of the Canopy at MLS, it is in showing time for anybody who has showing time. And you can use the showing time to be able to collect the data. And for the recording, you can either use Zoom or you can use Loom as well for recording yourselves to be able to do that, what Justine is talking about.
Yeah, maybe we do a class on that, Brock. Maybe we do, I don't know, maybe we do something in the power players on, maybe how to give a market update or pulling comps. I mean, we I do another class on Tuesdays called Collab Collective, and we try to just provide information that agents kind of need because a lot of times they don't even know how to pull comps, which is okay. It's just, I think real estate was so easy for so long that now I think that's a lot of the challenges. Agents don't know how to truly understand the data and how to take that data to make an informed decision on what their next move is. So anyway, throwing that out there, we could maybe try to plan something like that.
Yeah, we
Let's see.
certainly, I'll give you, I literally just did this yesterday, all. So I went in and I did some price improvements, and James, I could take a look at yours because um, being that we do things across the country, every market is different. Here's the line. Here's the line you want to give your client, because realistically, 98% of the time, all, it's usually location, condition, and price.
Yep.
You can't change the location, and they're more than likely not going to fix any condition because most people are house broke and all their money's in their walls and their equity, and you really don't want them even doing anything because that just prolongs the sale. So price is your fastest way to be able to really get your home sold. I prove it 100% of the time because if I said to them, if I sell your house for $1,000, I guarantee you I'll have multiple offers, right? So like it's all price. The problem is they don't really want to go to the price. And if you drop the price, they're both, you both lose money. And that's what I say.
Yeah.
Like, well, listen, if I drop the price, my commission goes down, your price goes down, and nobody wins. But we're not winning right now because we don't have an offer. And I've learned that in 10 days that if I don't have an offer or if we don't have showings, something else needs to take place. And here's where I would recommend it. But before I go and share my recommendation, could you tell me, write this down, this is it. Can you tell me maybe something I'm missing or something you've heard from a friend or something that I'm not doing that you wish I would do more of? And you take that, because what you're going to say to them is the price, and that's really what they don't want to hear. So in order to create a win-win situation, you have to take what they're thinking along with what you're wanting to do, and you got to mesh them together to create a win-win situation, which is habit number 5. And when they tell you this is what the guy told me yesterday. He goes, Brock, I've noticed that I didn't really see anything about walkability. And maybe there's some people who want to walk around this area in Charlotte, and I don't really see that. So do you think that that would be something? I want to be like, no, but you know what? I'll put it in there
Sure.
because
Yeah.
they're not
You want
looking
to make
around to see where the hell they can walk, but
Yeah.
I'll put that in there. So I went into ChatGPT. I created a new chat based off everything that I've already put in there. And I say, please create for me an SEO ChatGPT friendly to attract buyers across Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago to still attract them, and find 5 locations around this place that is walkability that I could use for my MLS remarks under 1,000 characters. I copy pasted that, and then they created for me a new report. And I say, please create for me in a map of Charlotte in a system of this, whatever that cartoon. Remember the cartoon characters that everybody was doing, that everybody wanted to do a cartoon character themselves? I did that of the map of Charlotte, and I sent it to him within 15 minutes. I said, buddy, what do you think about this? If we do this, combined with me dropping the price to $359, what do you think? He said, this is perfect. Thank you. Let's do it. You've
It
got to
makes them feel
create
good.
2
Yeah.
wins.
You're creating the win. by appeasing your
Sorry, I
client.
get all fired up. I get fired up
No,
at this stuff.
it's good. This is good. This is good. This is what we
Well, it's
got to
just
do.
a problem. It's a problem. And guess what? All if you don't solve that problem, you don't approach that problem, you just let the problem continue to go. Guess what? The problem's not going to solve. And if you don't
Right.
solve the problem, you're not going to make any money. If you're not making any money, you're going to be like all the other real estate agents that are out there saying the market sucks. This is terrible. I can't do it. And it's all it is you just not doing the work, or you don't know what you don't know. That's why
Yeah.
rooms like this are so very important. And what Justine does and everybody else. All right, I'm done my soapbox. You guys have a great
I love it.
Thursday.
I love it, Brock. Just keep going. It's fine. We're all fired up now. We're all fired up now. So D has, I have walkability in mine and it is still sitting. Is this your condo one, D? It is. Yeah. Condos here in Atlanta are so hard right now too. I have a couple listings coming up that, Brock said price, location, condition. Every single time, that's what's going to sell a house: price, location, condition. I have a couple listings coming up where they need work, and my clients either don't have the time or they don't have the resources, which every single time, that's usually the reasons. So in my marketing, I'm thinking, okay, how can we spearhead the problem, right? And sometimes it's taking the problem head on and just throwing it out there and marketing the problem, right? So I've taken over this listing. It was expired listing. And in my marketing, what I want to do is literally just throw it out there. So in the marketing video, I'm probably going to come in there with like a big sledgehammer, like knock the sledgehammer down and say, hey, this is what it could be. I'm going to use AI in my video, if I can find the right videographer to do it, use AI in my video to transform it to see what it can be, because there's a comp right down the street that sold for $120,000 more, same square footage, pretty much same layout. That's like, sometimes you have to market the issue to show the opportunity. So I don't know, maybe what your condo might have a challenge with. Here in Atlanta, I know that insurance and HOA, the condominium fees have been crazy whack, and they've been going up like insane. So I don't know if maybe there's a way you could be creative if that's an issue. I mean, what do you think the pain point is, Dee?
Mine is that the condo faces the interstate,
Okay.
like close to the interstate, not like
Just
off
right
in the
there.
distance. Yeah.
Is it noisy?
Yes.
So maybe you just market it. I don't know. Let me think of this, Dee. I'll come up with a cool option to maybe just market it. And like I said, you're just taking the issue. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
changing it. It's like that. My crazy divorce sale had a shared driveway. There's nothing I can do about it but show, hey, it's a shared driveway. Because I was getting a lot of people going out and they're like, well, I didn't realize it's a shared driveway. And I'm like, how do you not see in the freaking photos that it's a shared driveway, and the aerial? I mean, anyway. So anyway, I changed up the listing description and I put in there about it being a shared driveway and having great neighbors. So it's sometimes it's being a little creative. I'm going to think on that, Dee. Let me think on that. I'll text
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. And see if I can think of anything, how you can just market it. And sometimes just, like I said, spearhead the issue. Let's see, Amanda, I know we are already over time. So younger buyers may not care as much as it has Twilight OH. OH. I said Twilight OH. Y'all, I'm old. What does that OH mean? Twilight OH.
I was just saying, like, if she did an open house at Twilight with drinks,
Ooh, open house.
try to pull, and you have to market to the neighborhood and, like, maybe local breweries, things like where younger people will be
I like that idea,
in the
Amanda.
20s. Yeah, because they have money.
Yeah.
They might just not know that they can afford it.
Right. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's a great idea. Well, I know we are already out of time, but thank you guys so much for being with me today and my craziness today. But thank you so much for also who were here at Further Together on Tuesday. And y'all just continue to rock it. I love hearing the success stories. Christian, again, your whole demeanor has just lit up and I can see it and I can feel it. So congratulations to you, my friend. And everybody, y'all go rock the rest of this Thursday. I will see y'all next week.